In a field lies hope, anticipation. From the biggest races to the brightest stages, taking you on the wildest ride.
Forbidden trade with a gigantic upset. Best in show.
For the glory, the pride, the payoff. Enter the field, the Ontario Sire Stakes program, from Ontario farms to the world stage.
Winback Farm of Canada is home to 3 exceptional trotters. Archangel, Sire 2 2021 Super Final winners, Fashion Frenzy and Twinbee Archie. My MVP, Sire 2021 Ohio Sire Stakes Final winner Herculesa. Look for My MVP's first Ontario crop and 2-year-old stakes action in 2022. Trixton sired many 2021 stakes winners, including Quattro de Julio and Beltassima. His first Ontario crop will fall in 2022. For more information, winbackfarm.com.
Welcome to Twos in Training. I'm Jaimi MacDonald, and today we're stepping inside the Bax stable to catch up with John and Matt Bax, coming off of one of their biggest seasons yet, earning over $1.1 million in 2021. Let's see if they can start off where they finished last year. Matt Bax joins us now. Thank you for joining us here on Twos in Training.
Thank you.
Now, you've been in this industry for quite some time, but you've had a good role model in your dad, John, watching him work and grow in the industry with him. Is there something that stands out from the industry that he's taught you?
It's just the everyday thing of, you have to grab your lunch pail and your work hat, and every day something different's going to be thrown at you, and you just have to be ready for that.
And as you've grown up in the industry and your family being in it for many years, how has your outlook changed from when you were younger and kind of a kid and it's maybe more fun and not so much of a job, whereas now it's, those numbers mean something and how you're finishing the races, you'd count on that?
It's not like, you're taking off on a Saturday night to Georgian Downs, and those were my Saturday nights as a teenager late in the year. With 1 or 2 horses racing in the maiden, thinking that, that's great, we got a third or a second. Now, it's a little more business oriented. You're looking for performance in these horses. You spend a lot of money on the yearlings, especially this year. And, they're looking for results. But, if I've learned anything from my dad over the years, it's, there's going to be good horses that come and go. And, you just have to stick to your morals and what you do. And things will work out.
Now, you don't only have business ties in the industry as, a trainer, but you're also belong to the board member of COSA, and you're the secretary treasurer there. So how did that come about, and kind of your duties in those roles?
I think it was about, 6 years ago, and they're looking for new board members. And they're kind of looking for like a newer generation. A lot of these guys are older in there, and different perspective, something different on the board, try to get a little more diverse opinion. And my father was already on the board, and I got on there, and you get to kind of bounce your ideas and what maybe a younger generation's perspective would be on the business. I'm the board member, but also the secretary treasurer, so you kind of see where the money gets divided up into the industry, and how it is one big community where we can all help each other, and that we are all in this together, even though every night you're out there racing against each other and you're competing. But it is nice to know that we all have each other's backs when things do go wrong, or if somebody needs some help.
Absolutely. We've seen that so many times in the past, where if something happens or someone is struggling and needs some help, it's kind of a family. Everyone comes together and has each other's back.
Yeah, the horse racing community, definitely, that's one thing we've got, is we're strong at sticking together, especially in adversity.
So let's get into some of, the horses. And before we talk about your 2-year-olds, how do you go about buying the 2-year-olds. You've spent quite a bit of money this season on the babies, but the sales that you guys have to hit every year.
You hit you hit them one by one. First one, being Lexington. You kind of lay out how many owners, how many horses you're looking for. You have the consistent people that, we have a lot of great owners that maybe want a piece of 2 or 3. And you try to work out a number in your head and, a ballpark number on value, what kind of price range, whether you're going for like a $100,000 horse or you're looking for like a $10,000 to $20,000 horse. And you go from there.
And breaking and training the babies, what's your kind of favorite and least favorite part of all of that?
The breaking is, it's not the most favorite part, getting them to go, but what I found over his last couple of years, these horses are getting so smart that in 3 days you can be going alone jogging a horse. Whereas back, 10, 15 years ago when I was a teenager with my dad, they were a little tougher. Maybe the Balanced Images and Duke of Yorks were a little tougher on equipment. But to see the development of these horses training down from when you first break them and get them off the truck from the sale to where they are right now, or even getting to the qualifiers, is it's pretty rewarding.
Can you give us a quick recap of maybe those first couple days or 3 days after you get them off the truck from the sale? What does that look like here at the back stable?
Well, usually we'll give them maybe 2 or 3 days off out in the field. So you just like to look at them running around out in the green field and go, wow, well, what a pick that was, or oh, that one was a good buy. And you go, yeah, this is going to be a nice horse. They're all superstars when they first come off the truck. That's probably the fun part there.
Before we get into the 2-year-olds that we have listed here, how about some of the horses coming back? 2 that come to mind is first Up and Ready. Where's this mare and what's she doing this year?
Well, I got a phone call a couple weeks ago and they said that she's in full to Walnut. So she's down in Kentucky. She's going to be a mother. She's part of the Livefeld Cats broodmare band, and going to Walnut, I don't think they can go wrong there.
And your 3-year-old trotter, Duly Resolved.
He's back training great. You know the old story, bigger, stronger. He's been push button his whole life. He's about a week or 2 away from qualifying, and I think his first stake is the SBOA elimination, so we're excited for that.
Very excited to hear. And let's get into your 2-year-olds. The first one we're going to talk about here is Snowpiercer, a colt by Muscle Mass for $130,000 at Lexington.
Yeah, he's an expensive horse for us. Usually we don't go that high. My dad was at the sale, and he was our number 1 at Lexington. Thought, he's the number 1 colt, Ontario colt, anyways. And it would be nice to get, but usually when you go to the sale, you think, I don't know. Usually you're hyped up. You think this is a good horse. Let's go for it. And then the next thing you know, it's $200,000-$300,000, and you can't touch it. But my dad talked to Brad Grant before, and he liked the horse. And then he talked to David Anderson. He said, go for it and don't get weak. And we had a price range around $100,000. And so I talked to my dad before. Usually we price them out. Where are you going to go budget-wise? And, I'm watching online the live stream. And next thing you know, it goes for like $130. I say, I didn't get him, but, not a big surprise. He's got wheeling and dealing in his family, maybe determination bid on him. And they get whatever they want usually. So, so I called him up a little later. He bid on another horse and got it. I said, at least you got that one, eh? And he goes, I got both of them. I said, $130, what were you doing? So right now it looks like it was a good choice to keep going, but at the time I was sweating a little bit.
Let's move on to another big purchase here, this time from Harrisburg, your Muscle Mass filly. It's your choice.
So she was a Livefeld and Cats purchase. And when they pick out a horse, they go over the horse, and you have the vet, you have the x-rays, and they're sure. They have Perry Soderberg help them out. And when they like a horse, they go for it. And she's a nice, strong Muscle Mass filly, very smart and good gaited. she hasn't had like the desire where she doesn't know what she's doing yet. So she's going to be very easy on herself, so that's going to be good for longevity of her career.
Now, as a trainer, how important it is for you to have, the yearlings vetted out before the purchase?
To have all those x-rays, usually I kind of find that the breeders x-ray them all anyways. So for us to spend that little bit of money to x-ray them and go over that, historically we haven't done it. And usually we're not buying yearlings that are like $100,000-$200,000. So I can see where those guys, you're spending that much money, you want to have all your I's dotted and T's crossed. So, but for us, usually we're around like the 40 to 60 range. We don't find it as necessary.
Next up is your Glengate Farms Colt by Muscle Mass at Derbyshire.
Yeah, we had his mother, very, very fast. He's a good looking colt, great gaited. He just keeps doing everything right, and his mother had a lot of speed, so we're just hoping that he just keeps going the way he is.
Next up, we have your Muscle Hill filly, Proud to be Lindy.
Yeah, she was a Jim Bullock purchase at Lexington, and he liked her at the sale, and she is a big, beautiful horse. She's got a little bit of an attitude, which we kind of find with the fillies actually helps. The fillies with an attitude are usually the real good ones, I guess, but she's going great right now.
Now, do you ever run into at the sales where an owner wants a specific horse and you guys kind of look at them and not sure what they're seeing?
No, you know what? A lot of our owners kind of give. My father he's very good at picking out the horses, and they have a lot of trust in him. So they kind of give him free rein on that. But no, we haven't really had a debacle between owners. There's so many horses out there. There's so many to choose from that I don't think you have to squabble over one or another.
How about your Glengate Farms Colt, Oh Look Magic?
He is first crop of Chippendale. His mother was a very nice filly. She was came back from Florida, and when she got off the truck, all of a sudden she couldn't walk real well. I didn't know what was going on, if she hit her head, and it turns out it was EPM so bad that she was dragging her one front leg, and thought we were gonna have to put her down. We treated her for a couple months, and she got good enough where she could walk and move around on her own. Just threw her out in the field with the broodmares. And in the fall, we were actually able to start training her back. She started to get back some muscle. She lost all the muscle on the one side, and actually turned out to be, a decent racehorse. But we did have very high expectations for her, as a 2-year-old. So in the back of our minds, we kind of thought, this guy coming out of her who, she didn't show what she actually was going to do on the track. Maybe there could be a connection there, and maybe this guy could really surprise us. But you always worry about, first crop, Chippendale, what they're going to be. But right now he is strong, and he's right there. It'll just come down to how fast he can be once he gets down to 2 minutes.
And moving on to your Walnut Colt for $65,000, Southwind Coors.
He is a very fast horse. Mentally, he's maybe got a few issues where he's got to learn, but he has been learning the whole way. We had his sister. She was a very fast filly, and he has a full brother that's racing down in Pennsylvania very well. I think he's won about half of his starts, or he's actually 3 for 3 this year. So he's got quite a bit of pedigree on his side. We'll see how it goes.
Hoping it comes north of the border.
Yeah, just keeps going.
How about Resolve to Win, your $53,000 Colt?
Yeah, he's a nice little chestnut. He was pretty late in the Lexington sale, and we were a little surprised. We're a little biased on Resolve with having dually Resolve, so we look at every Resolved in the sale. I know some people don't really like chestnuts, and we don't mind them at all, so we thought maybe there'd be a little discount there. I don't think $53,000 is a discount, but maybe the breeder probably does. But he's a great gaited horse, so he does everything. He's smart, great gaited, so it'll just come down to what comes out in the pedigree later.
And your Resolve filly, Righteous Resolve.
Righteous Resolve, the full sister to Dually Resolve. So, yeah, we talked with the breeders back when Dually Resolve was training down and asked them if they, had another horse out of the same mare, because he seemed like he was pretty special. And we just kind of kept in contact with him over the summer, and they asked us to train this filly, and she has done nothing wrong. She's big, strong. She's maybe a little bigger than Dually Resolved, but that's not a bad thing where she's a little stronger. Has a little more attitude than he does, but yeah, there's no reason why her pedigree can't shine through. We know that's there.
Well, thanks for joining us, and good luck this season, starting this spring, with qualifiers and stakes coming up, and of course those baby races.
Yeah, it's exciting. Thanks for coming out.
In a field lies hope, anticipation. From the biggest races to the brightest stages, taking you on the wildest ride.
Forbidden Trade with a gigantic upset. Best in show.
For the glory, the pride, the payoff. Enter the field, the Ontario Sire Stakes program, from Ontario farms to the world stage.
Winback Farm of Canada is home to 3 exceptional trotters. Archangel, Sire 2 2021 Super Final winners, Fashion Frenzy and Twin Archie. My MVP, Sire 2021 Ohio Sire Stakes Final winner Herculesa. Look for My MVP's first Ontario crop and 2-year-old stakes action in 2022. Trixton sired many 2021 stakes winners, including Quattro de Julio and Beltassima. His first Ontario crop will foal in 2022. For more information, winbackfarm.com.